Manjula Reddy garu bagunara? You're not attending, you're not encouraging others to join.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Manjula Reddy garu, no, in the morning they were 11 or 7, I think. And they had a good food, I think, in the afternoon. Feel like sleeping, feel like going out. Yeah, anyway, it's a whole class. It's meant for a whole class. How many students are there in a class? Let me know in a 4th semester. What is the strength of the 4th semester? 100?
Yeah, 100 above, ma'am.
100 above. So definitely they are quite intelligent. कौन कुछ पूछ रहे हैं? बोलो. Someone was telling me something. सत्तर जी कुछ कुछ सुनाई दे रहा है, हमारी आवाज सुनाई दे रही. नहीं. सत्तर किससे बात कर रहे हैं? You are talking to somebody. Say सत्तर जी.
Yes, ma'am.
घर पे है ना तो बात होती रहती है जी. चलिए. Okay.
Sorry,
yeah,
ma'am.
go to the survey research. No, thank you. What is survey research? What is survey research? Descriptive explanatory research. What is descriptive research? Descriptive survey. Okay, now, for example, you gone to the market, and maybe your near market and all. You surveyed, and you want to describe the purchasers, the customers, and the consumers there. What have been spread on in the market and all? What the vegetables are available, fruits are available, mushroom milta hai kya, mushroom mil raha hai kya, And again, are we getting hen chick eggs and all? For example, okay, ma'am. So when you do such survey, you obviously find a different variety of vegetables are available in the market, along with that mushroom, along with the desi eggs and all. So when you describe in a report, saying that you describe particular as per your vision, as per your knowledge, and as per your may say that creativity. Is it clear? So that is a descriptive part of the survey, right? Now relate to exploratory. What is exploratory? Finding something innovative thing and all. Is it clear to you? Suppose you're gone for some maybe sightseeing, and again you gone to some village, maybe you gone to some place and all, a location, okay, and you find that something very innovative thing. You exploring something. Is it clear? Exploring means something you're finding something new, which is you want to be do research, which you want to be in the form of survey method, an explanatory form of the method, right? And for your research purpose. Is it clear to you? So you have to explore, mean to say to find out. Research, findings should be there. Innovative things, findings, with your vision, with your observation, with your talking, with your experience, right? And with your living with them and all. Even I told you what is called all this, the different types of research being undertaken, case study, observation, ethnography. Did you come across? We did. You read about life story. So you gave so many types of research being undertaken by right so far. Okay, yeah. Now even the survey research also, because survey is very, very useful for the research. I'm telling, very beautiful research. And it can be it all depends on the capacity, how, but you need to have perseverance, the capacity, time, patience, everything matters related to the survey, right? For example, you want to find out drinking behavior of the, suppose in the village, toddy shop milta na, the gudamba milta dekho, wine shop, toddy shop. I think at the crossroad, I think we stay very close to the crossroad at the Indira Park. I could find a toddy shop, ma. So the toddy shop ke samne you find the wine shop at Indira Park, because we stay in RTC crossroad, mean to say that in Chikatpalli, not Chikatpalli or Gandhinagar beach mein hai hamara. Okay. So when we go to that Indira Park, you find that toddy shop rahega. Iske samne brandy ka shop, wine shop. So you can flock the people from either side also. Is it clear? So when you go to the tourist, because the behavioral pattern will be changing in the tourist shop than the wine shop. Why so? Because in the tourist shop, the people are more local and more not so rich, not so well behaved. Okay. And again, vagara vagara. This is all the variables I could find out. This is my observation. The children, if at all you want to work survey, you can do wonders. And you can find more variables among them and all. For example, you want to find out drinking behavior among them. Obviously, it all depends how much ounce you're taken, how much Godamba you're taken and all. Or really, no, if you're a daily consumer, it may not affect for 1 ounce and all. If you're for example, maybe have to make barley, so it affects a lot. Okay. So it all depends how much you take, quantity, quality, volume, vagara, vagara. I think as per my knowledge. Okay. So even the drinking behavior also, pattern also change as per the how much you consume, the volume which you consume and all. Right, Meta? So this can be undertaken, the research. This is the observation I'm telling you. Because, now relate to this, different, and when you find audience and consumer research, or maybe relate to decision makers and all, for example, during COVID time, you could find that so many research have been undertaken and all, so many surveys been undertaken and all, right? And also you can find the reporters flocking to the CCMB, IACT, NIN and all in Hyderabad. Okay, why so? Because the experiment been undertaken in the NIN, CCMB, IACT related to the COVID-19. Okay, ma'am. So definitely there's become a national pride, national asset related to the experiment undertaken in these institutions. Is it clear? So when you find these been, when the findings been, when the results of findings have come from the scientists and the particular department, that become national spread. Obviously, the reporter will survey different these institutions, scientific bodies in Hyderabad. Okay, beta, of BDL. So what is BDL? Pharmaceutical companies, for example, maybe Biological Events Limited. So we are in the medical field, we are in the health sciences and all. We are discussing about health related to the issues and all. Obviously, we have to deal about the but that is scientific bodies only, dear children, right? So we're ready. We go to the Ready Labs. We go to the Aurobindo. What is that, ma? Aurobindo, am I correct? Yeah, Aurobindo, I think, right? Pharmaceutical. Aurobindo, correct, yeah. Aurobindo, pharmaceutical companies, Biological Events Limited companies, if at all you go cross at some limits of Hyderabad, you find different pharmaceutical companies are there available, because this is Adda, this is a hub for scientific bodies, I'm telling you, dear children. That's the reason even the state government also moving forward to have the second capital of Hyderabad. How far it is going to, we don't know how far it is going to happen, or maybe happen. We cannot say that, right? So I mean to say that way each and every survey will be carried out by the reporter, the correspondent. If at all you want to do a great story on that particular issue which has seen in hospital, maybe he go to the different hospitals, he find a different variants in that at the time and all. Maybe he gone to different mortuaries. With the people, we talk to the doctors, talk to the nurses, talk to the relatives, talk to the attendants and all. That in that way, we do the survey of the different issues related to that time and all. Right, Beta? So that way, what I'm telling is this way, generally, this carries such trend all. Yeah, when this finished, I think in my class, they not to complete everything. The cohort, everything has been done, right? I'm remembering right now. Now we go for the interviewing, right? Last time I was supposed to tell you the interviewing. Now it's already 15 beta. Now interviewing. What is interview? What is interview? Sharing, caring, right? Exchanging ideas and face-to-face communication. Body language can be exhibited. We can easily make out of kinetics, semiotics and kinesics. What is semiotics and kinesics? Anybody could tell me? I think I explained in the classroom also. I written on the board also. I don't know very far I'm really remembered or not. Yeah. Kinesics. Semiotics and kinesics. See, as I'm talking, I use my hand. As though I'm online teaching, but still I'm using my hand. So this is the way we use the body language. We use eyes and all. We use a movement
techniques
of the
only.
body and all. Right?
Quantitative techniques.
Yeah. So obviously in an interview also, because you
General
want to
wisdom.
express yourself, you had to lean, you had to be with the interviewer. You're the interviewer, you're the interviewee. Right. So obviously, you have to follow the interview, what he's saying, what is questioning, what is answering to question and all. When the answer been received by you, obviously you have to generate another question and you structure it properly and put a question to him. So structuring the interview is very important. What is structuring the interview? What is the better way is that very proper, making proper sentence with a meaningful sentence and relate to the sentence. Relate question should be asked that is structured interview, right? Because as if it all depends on how refined you are, how sharp you are, how professional you are. Is it clear? And this interview is not so easy, simple. You always think that. अरे क्या है क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं जवाब दे रहे हैं no it's not so many things matters in this particular interview methodology basics that's what I'm telling you semiotics adds here kinesics adds here language adds here grammar adds here subject adds here the relation between the interview match adds here the chemistry between the interviewer and interviewer adds here right environment adds here location adds here so many factors are there to be a successful, a structured interview will be carried out and the structured carried the person to person. It could be for telephonic conversation or be electronic device in the form of the channel or maybe radio communication or in the form of the face-to-face communication or print media, vagara vagara. For anything, we had to form the structured interview. Yeah, your name, sir? Yes. Your designation, sir? Yes. So it's structured. So you mean to say that we shouldn't become detrimental for the interviewee. Okay? And you shouldn't put any personal questions. Never, never do it. I don't know whether you remember one Devil's Court on the television, NDTV. There's another genre on NDTV in English. Karan Thapar. I think aware of him? Karan Thapar? A great journalist, Ramesh Thapar's son. Ramesh Thapar, remember the case is the media law? Who's Ramesh Thapar? Anybody could tell me in the media law? Ramesh Thapar case. What is the Ramesh Thapar case? Kaisa ji? Bolo ji? Chalo. Right. Ramesh Thapar, there's a Crossroad. Crossroad is a newspaper. That was a case of Ramesh Thapar. Okay. Union of Madras 2 versus Ramesh Thapar. Right. Now talking about the Devil's Court, this is another genre on NDTV. And once the Karan Thapar is a renowned journalist. Okay. And he's on television. And he invited Ram Jethmalani, a renowned, a senior most advocate. I think you're aware of him, right? Ram Jethmalani, very renowned person, a senior most advocate. And he has a guts to face everything. And he could pass a judgment. Nobody could retaliate, I could say that. Such a brilliant advocate, I could say that. Okay, dear. And, once he was interviewing Ram Jethmalani on Devil's Court and in NDTV. So, Karan Thapar has a skill of, volley of question B, one by one. उसको गले में नहीं निकलता नहीं. So he'll ask such questions, nobody could answer back. So here the Ram Jethmalani, when he wasn't questioning, if he could not digest that, what would have been questioned by the Karan Thapar to advocate, that is Ram Jethmalani, because that way they do it. They don't want to destabilize the interviewer person. The skill, the different skill of the interviewer. Is it clear to you? That's the reason interview is not so simple. It's not a joke. And we need to have a subject. You need to thorough of the person, the personality. How psychology, the personality. Physiology, personality. subjective personality, professional personality, academic personality of that person. That's very important. Then you can put the question. Then you can downsize the person and all, because you want to squeeze out the maximum in matter from the interviewee. Take it. Then only it can be a successful interview, right? So here, तो क्या हुआ मालूम? जैसा करण साहब पूछ रहे थे, he got up from that studio, he left that studio and all. Right? It is live telecast. It's a live recording. He just got up and left. Who? Advocate. You can just check the video. NDTV Karan Thapar versus, Ram Jethmalani. If it's available, you can just find out NDTV. So that was a guts. Even the Karan has a guts, and the gut. Even the Ram Jethmalani has a guts to get up. The live recording, live telecast, and the national asset. Of course, it's a national asset.
What was the question, ma'am?
What the questions I cannot say, because he's intruding into moral privacy. Is maybe some related to some question, some case, I think, Devanjula. So I cannot remember. But he got us from the live telecast. Yeah.
Ma'am, he's not supposed to ask in such a way so that he has to get up and go.
Because see, when something's wrong from other party, when the other party is very confident that he can squeeze out the reality, the factuality, so he can do it. He can take that guts. The journalist will have, dear. That's the reason he should have the factuality. He should have the reality. तो इसको जानना जरूरी है. Yeah. Otherwise, crime will be done more, ma.
Yes.
The crime report done, kundama. So what the crime reporter will do? He'll go to the police station, and as per the police station information, he'll go to the spot and find out. And does it create on his own? Not at all. What a scene, what a read through his eyes, what I heard through his ears, what I heard, what I spoke with his mouth, had to written in the crime reporting. The same way here also, as a reporter, the live telecast was on. Advocate Ram Jethmalani got up from that live telecast and left it. That was national asset. Obviously, this happens. This happened. It shouldn't have happened, but it happened that way. So it became a great uproar. Hota hai. Became uproar. Such national asset got up. And what was the question? What he could not answer to the Karan Thapar was very, very correct and all. So obviously, we could find different theories will come up right now. Okay, that way. Now, unstructured interview, because without unstructured means, as within the question.
Ma'am, we can see with same with Arvind Goswami.
Yeah, Arvind Goswami good untarandi. We can find out from that, because very, very volatile. It's very, I could say, a ferocious. I shouldn't use such word, but it's very volatile interview methodology he adopts. That is that is, he always expect that's a TRP rates, and we had to be very volatile, and we had to be very aggressive in nature, aggressive interview, and ball of question to be put in the other ball quote and all, right? That now this is the new trendy skill. Our trend interview methodology been adopted right now. Okay, see, need not to be aggressive all the time. Even Karan Thapar, to some extent, even Karan Thapar also aggressive interviewer here. So even unstructured interview also sometimes, for example, the interviewer doesn't want answer. So obviously, Vemuri Radhakrishna in Andhra ABN.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, he takes always Andhra interviews.
Yeah, he also do that. He also follows up unstructured interview methodology. A flexibility will be there. Sometimes rigid will be there. Sometimes from within the question they ask you, pull out again. Is it clear? That is unstructured. Yeah. Digging deeper and deeper in matter. That's called unstructured. Right? Yeah. That way. So that way each and everything has advantage and all. So we cannot see, we have to be reliable, and we have to be reliable, the interviewer and the interviewee. When you invited a person, a great personality, to the studio, that is the whole responsibility lies on the production executive or producer, and also the interviewer, because the blame will be on producer, dear children. That's the reason.
He should make the person comfortable and then take out the answers, but
of course, dear, because sometimes it happened. It may not happen all the time. That's the reason, ho halla hota hai na. Even you think about Arnab Goswami, how they shout each everybody.
yes,
though they're far away from Hyderabad, Vizag, Gujarat somewhere, but still they shout each other. So
Yes,
that way,
ma'am.
that's trendy right now. That is the TRP rates. And, I think it doesn't carry all the time. Okay. Sometimes
But
really...
that would have not happened with Ram Jethmalani. He's
that is not the as is no aggressive like Arnab, but to some extent he's questionable. He could get that. He want to squeeze out some information from Ram Jethmalani ji. Or Ram Jethmalani kyun jawab dega? Wahi answer to the question. Whatever question you put in, why should I answer to you?
Yeah.
Then very questioning in matter. So obviously it all his decision. You cannot question me. I'm the advocate. I'm a renowned advocate. You're a journalist, fine, take it. But doesn't mean that you have to question each and everything. No.
Yes.
There are limitations are there. That conduct is there. Right? That way he questioned. That is Ram Jethmalani. That's why he got up and left the studio live telecast and all. Right? Yeah. Yeah, now we can think about the disadvantage semi-structured and all. The participant may question the reliability of factor of these interviews due to the flexibility offered and all. So we say structured, unstructured have a different arena, and they have different results will be there. And obviously you find different response will be there for each and everything, right? Now, when you think of intensive interview, so far we did digging deeper and deeper. That is related to the structured, unstructured also, unstructured. Structured, we have some questionnaire pattern will be there, where to answer. In the unstructured form, dig deeper and deeper. Got the point? And intensive interview. What is intensive? That's what I'm writing with Arnab Goswami. For example, there, we can say it aggressive or intensive also. Okay, so here generally what they know, see why they're aggressive, why they have to aggressive, why they have to intensive interview, because they want to find out how best you're going to do. What's your opinion? What's the value? What is your opinion on that particular thing and all? It cannot be quiet. For example, BJP spokesman has gone to the channel and all. And here a Congress spokesman has come, BJP spokesman has come, Aam Aadmi spokesman has come, and again, Janata Dal spokesman has come for the television channel and all. Okay, and all of question put by the interviewer and all. So here, the BJP, as the BJP is the power and all, the head of the state, at the central state, is a more power, is more confident. But at the same time, we should be answerable to all the questions put by the interviewer and cross-check, cross question by different spokesmen from the different parties and all. That capacity, the quality, the capacity, we should have the ability, the capacity should possess by the spokesperson of the ruling party or the ruling government and all. So that efficiency should be there. Efficiency should be there in the spokesperson, because where he can retaliate the question, or he can sit back, or can reback. I mean to say again, no, he can give back to the other opponent parties also. Is it clear to you? So that is also very important. So here to control, mean to say that in the intensive interview, generally, in the interview, if at all the interviewer like Arnab Goswami and all, he was very aggressive. He cannot uncontrolled person. Even the other parties, that is other spokesmen also, will be more aggressive and become a great, havoc. That shouldn't be there. So we have to very control. Mean to say that even though he's intensive interviewer, though the aggressive interviewer, though the structured interview, unstructured, semi-unstructured, but still they should have some limitation should be there, right?
Ma'am, because of his aggressive nature, Bharat TV is number one for many years, I think.
Yeah, Republic Day now. Republic TV he was Republic TV. As Bharat TV, right?
Bharat
Republic. Yeah. True. That sells the market, na. The people want to aggressiveness. Some people want something masala. Something was a volatile person, something voice. They cannot remain the voiceless, na. Somebody is raising my voice. Hey, he's putting my question. He was telling my point. Obviously, he'll be more attracted towards the spokesperson and also. Is it clear? So that way, that attracts the other listeners or the audience, and the audience will get back to that spokesperson or to the speaker, and and gel with each other and all. Because he's array, major soch raha tha. You know what I'm thinking, the same point is putting. That way, even they connect and reconnect. Even that really attracts the maybe the interviewer, and with the context or the content being developed by the interviewer and all. So that way, how basic questions been framed, right? Structured, unstructured, semi-structured will be also in the intensive interview, dear children, right? Yeah. So each and everything is a data, tremendous analysis may take several weeks to several months and all. Okay, I'm talking about the page number 36. Yeah. Now we go to focus group interview. Okay, what is focus group interview? With a group of 4 people, not more than 10. We can interact with one another and the interviewer. That's it. When I told this point also, focus group. Generally, I think when I was teaching at St. Pius College, because I was a Doordarshan, I take interviews on Doordarshan. So obviously they come to the college and do the good story, good program. They came to St. Pius, and they got also some topics. Okay, dear. And the children were sitting on the wall, when some steps and all. And again, we have two camera persons and 2 interviews from Doordarshan, Hyderabad, that is Yadagiri. And here, then as the topic one rolled, the question being rolled, and they were asking the question they asked from the focus group, that is girls. And obviously, you get the response from the girls also, and also you got the cross question be there also, volley of question will be there also, response will be there, and also some they may not agree, some may disagree, some may not agree. So this volley of response will be there from each and every the particular focus group that become great inputs for the particular program. Is it clear? So that we mean to say, we as a researcher, we have to explore the things as it depends on the topic. Right? Depends on your questions, depends on your capacity, how fast, how focused. Even the focus group should be chosen, very educated, or maybe who can answer your questions, language matters and all. Telugulo undanuko mat. I want to only, my focus group should target should be only respond only Telugu anukondama. Telugulo jawab cheptaru. If you go to St. Francis College, it's very difficult to find Telugu speaking. Maybe they are Telugu speaking, but it's very difficult to ask them or speak them in Telugu. And you have to select them anamata. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఎక్స్ప్లోరేటరీ చేయాలి, అకాడమిక్ ఎక్స్ప్లోరేటరీ రీసెర్చ్ సర్వే చేసి then you have to select the focus group and interview them. అది కష్టం అవుతుంది. సో జనరలీ ఏమవుతుందంటే, జనరలీ you have to sample it. You have to sample them, and among them you have to select them అనమాట. Is it clear? ఇక్కడ ఏమిటంటే what happens, the one-on-one interview ఉంటుంది. So if I ask you అనుకోండి, suppose I asked Manjula Reddy, what is opinion on Narendra Modi's and again is president of USA. What's the talk on? What decision was taken? And it's very, very interesting. And again, you may answer the question. You were interesting, madam. Very, very volatile, very, very useful, fruitful decision was undertaken, discussion was undertaken, and all. So many agreements been undertaken. So many. He has agreed on so many agreements between the US president and the Prime Minister of India. So even this has become the news for us, right? Suppose now the gold rate is quite high. Okay, bullion rate is quite high. So who can blame? Shall you blame the oil-rich companies or the American, European country and all? Right? Or because we are the gold lovers and all, obviously yellow gold people and all, right? Obviously we want to wear, because Indians love the gold very much. Okay. So ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నానంటే, so that way you have to focus group should be interviewed or should be questioned, and you have to know the inputs. Then you can write a better story and better research and all. And that if you have more inputs ankundama, if you have more points ankundi, if you have more gathered information and all, obviously become more richer and richer with the matter, with more inputs and all. And definitely that become a great, I may say that inputs. When you have more inputs means you can find more in-depth, you can reach and you can write more in a better aspect, in better way, and in better scope. You have a more scope of explorating. You have a more scope of writing or analyzing. Again, the result will be more good and all. Is it clear? Because you're doing you're doing your survey and all in the form of the interview methodology. Is it clear? That way. Is it clear? I don't want to ask beyond that bit. Yeah. So conducting focus group, you need a facilitator, note taker, and technician, because as you find, as if it is a television channel, if it is a channel, obviously we need a cameraman, you need a questionnaire, you need another person. That way in matter. Focus group matter. You have to take the mic to them. That will matter. If a cameraman should be there, a person should be go with the mic to the respondent. So that way, somebody should note down the point. Don't depend on the recorded version. Please remember, whenever you go for an interview, dear children, in future, in your profession also, though you're recording also, dear, you have to note down. Why so? Why you have to note down the notebook? Why? Anybody can tell me? Yeah? Anybody can tell me? Even I do right now also. Even when I go for the interview, I just take the notebook and go. The record it also still I do write with the permission of the interviewee. Why? Nobody's answering to me.
Because you get likely information.
No. No, my question is, I write down the notebook. I write down with the pen on the notebook. I make it a black and white. Though I am recording on my mobile, maybe in camera or anything, but still I write. Why? We're in the print media. Where the print media? Print media has a more shelf life, more permanency, more believability. Is it clear? That's all. Right. Yeah. So now we go for the focus group and what are the disadvantages. Focus group, very quick and relatively easy to set up, but it has the facilitator or the maybe note taker, sometimes, no, what the facilitator means, for example, who's holding the mic ankundama. Appudu you study what is as a cameraman, So cameraman is not blamable. The facilitator, the mic who's holding the mic, he'll go to the same person who's speaking more and more. The points may not be shared from the different varied variables. Manaku raadu. The same point, same person దగ్గర any point తీసుకుంటాం మనం. He'll repeat and repeat again. కొన్నిసార్లు అట్లా కూడా జరుగుతుంది. So that's the reason we not to go to facilitator should be very, very alert and intelligent. We have to go for different variables and different response and get the more information. Is it clear? That's very important. Adi disadvantage also. Now, advantage and disadvantage interview. Okay, allows greater flexibility in the process of questioning, such types of question. Yeah, dear children. When you want to go for an interview or take an interview, please remember, you have to thoroughly prepare the subject, meet him personally, go to his place, sit with him, though he's in the meeting and Kundama, somewhere is outside market somewhere, but still you have to wait for him. This all recce has to be done by you. Why so? For the interview, to be successful interview, okay na? We had to do such efforts. Otherwise, manak variability manak kanapadadu, and you won't get verbal response from the interview, right? And also, you may not get the contextuality manak telvala. Is it clear to you? So when you know him personally, when you know him in person, when you know the interview, in a chemistry should be developed by you, between you and him. Appade kada you can a friendly ga untundannamata. Now, when you gel each other, and we can see each into the eyes and can speak, you can talk, you can take out the more points from him, you can question him more, because as you friendly in nature, environment friendly, obviously, and make it more easy and matter. Not in rigid ga cheyakunda, not a question. Sorry, not to put him the more question personally. No, better not. Or I mean, second wife to cherata. For example, you invited a person, interview person. I don't want to take MP, very renowned MP was from TDP. I don't want to take anybody's name. Okay. He was involved with one second woman. Okay. And again, he got married. Nuptial not been undertaken. They have a son also. But living very well. He can manage the wife and second wife, first wife. Okay. Now, if at all you invite, because he's very experienced, and again, he's very good philanthropist, and he's a very good speaker, he's very good worker, party worker, and if at all during election talking, for example, during elections. So at that time you invited that person. So at that point, when interviewing, we had to discuss about only the party only, not the personal at all. Is it clear? Sir, I came to previous last time, sir. I could not find you. Your phone could not respond properly. I came to know that you are outside, sir, with your family, the child and wife and all. So unless you are so closer to him, unless you have the boundaries developed between, because you keep meeting him, keep knowing from a long time, he cannot ask or anything the personal dear children. Is it clear? That's very important. That you have to take care. And before that's the reason, as you find more time, you can have more information about him. And you structure the questions. Sometimes even within the questions, structured question interview also, you find also included unstructured, only with the permission of his only dear children. He'll ask you, for example, for Sabita Indra Reddy Pilchaman. Okay, for example, she's a very busy lady. She's a very, very deepest lady. She's a woman and she has a family and she's a politician. She's a member, minister and all. A very wanted minister in the cabinet rank. So obviously she'll be more quite busy. If at all you invited the television station, or if at all you want to meet her, take time. You have to know her properly. And you cannot question her. You cannot call her all the time. That please remember this, the culture shouldn't be developed by the interviewer. Very, very careful. Because she never asks you. She never answers to you. Your PA will answer to you. He'll give the time for you. He'll give the location for you. He'll give the venue, location, time. But still, you won't be inside the room and telling you. But wait till the last minute. Sometimes you have to go back without getting the interview from the minister or from the designated minister and all. It happens. This is a profession. We have to wait. We are journalists, right? Yeah. And please remember, when recording information, please remember, we had to take the permission of the interviewee. When you're recording the information, it is permission only. Yeah, very, very careful. Don't utter a single word. Don't take interview without his permission. Otherwise, he will be defamed. Please remember. Okay, na? Ivanni kuda chinna chinna anukuntam gaani ivanni matters a lot when you're in the profession, dear children. Right? Yeah. Important source of errors in interview. Attitude of the interviewer. Yeah. Like attitude in when you have attitude, you want to answer a question, put the answer question to the interview, then obviously how you get the response from the interviewee? Or the respondent will respond to you. So that's the reason you have to forego your attitude. We have preconceived notions ఉంటాయి. అర్థమవుతుందా? అప్పుడు చెప్పినప్పుడు ఒక కేసు చెప్పాను ఇప్పుడు. అదే సెకండ్ వైఫ్ ఉంది, వాడు ఉంది, ఇది ఉంది, ఆమె ఇట్లా గట్టిగా మాట్లాడుతుంది, ఆమె ట్రాన్స్జెండర్. Why? When you have a preconceived notions, you never do any successful interview, dear children. That's the reason I keep telling you. The gel each other. A chemistry should bond. A bond should develop between the interviewer and interviewee. Otherwise, you cannot come to a conclusion. You cannot draw the line. You cannot put any information. You cannot draw the information from that interview when you have attitude from the interview side, right? Yeah. And be warm. Yeah. Obesity, sorry, you cannot oblige. That we had to have warmth enough. It should come, the question should come from the heart, dear children. Warmth in heart, when understand the person, warmth should be there in the tone also, in the body language also, in the kinesics and semiotics also. The tone, the speed, the eye contact, the tone and the lip movement, the body language, the sitting, the questioning also matters, relate to the warmthness. Are you showering the warmthness? The eyes easily catch cold by the interviewee. Please remember, we have to be affectionate. We have to show the love and all. We have to shower the love and all. The behavior matters a lot. Is it clear? Because you have invited the person to the studio, because you're invited to visit her place, because you're taking her time, his time, not because you have gone for purpose. The purpose should be served and all, right? Yeah. And suppose, sometimes, the interview may not respond to your question because the language cannot understand by him or her, obviously. And that's the reason the interviewee cannot ask you again. So sometime, pardon me, he may ask you. And here, the interviewer has to answer the question again. He repeat the question again. But it cannot for longer time. No. Okay? That's it. Very clarity should be there. Content, context, contextuality. That's important. Clarity, content, context is important for the interview also. Right? Yeah. Duration of interview. Yeah. Obviously, for the minister, he'll ask you. And he'll ask you to send forward the interview schedule. అదే ఫలానా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతున్నారు, మాకు చెప్పండి, మాకు ముందే చెప్పాలి, ముందే పంపించండి, పిఏ చెప్తాడు. ఓకేనా? బికాస్ డీవియేటింగ్ అవ్వకూడదు. He cannot deviate from the questionnaire. What we designed, what we forwarded to the minister, Peshi, or no. We had to stick to that particular proforma format and the interview time, duration of the time, very important.
Ma'am, you can add on the questions also.
Of course, అదే కదా unstructured questions, అదే కదా అంటున్నాను. Only the permission of the interview, అమ్మా. నువ్వు ఏదో అడిగేసి నీకు స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ ఇచ్చావమ్మా, స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ క్వశ్చన్ యూ సెండ్ టు ద మినిస్టర్ ఆర్ సంబడి, విఐపి పర్సన్, రెడీస్ ల్యాబ్స్ డైరెక్టర్ అనుకోండమ్మా, వెరీ బిజీ పర్సన్స్ కదా వీళ్ళంతా. ఓకేనా? ఆబ్వియస్లీ మే ఆస్క్ యూ వన్ క్వశ్చన్ సార్ అని అడగచ్చా, అక్కడే కూడా అడగచ్చు మీరు. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఆ స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ క్వశ్చన్సే కాకుండా unstructured questions kuda, from the answer you also get the question, you can ask it with the permission. Recorded kuda, recorded information kuda on your mobile, on your recording, or maybe clicking the photos, or maybe recording your mobile on your camera. Please remember, you have to take the permission and prior permission తీసుకున్నారు అనుకోండమ్మా. Okay na? But still that's very, very careful. Sometimes interview also asks you to send a clip or the product పంపించమంటాడు. They'll ask you because they don't believe you, they cannot trust you. Why should I trust you, dear?
Okay.
Yeah, that's very important. I cannot trust you. So that's the reason, though you send the structured పంపించినా గానీ recorded version, suppose you recorded on your mobile, they'll ask you. అట్లా కూడా కొన్నిసార్లు అవుతాయి.
Madam, one question, ma'am.
Hanji bolo.
Madam, what if that we are forced to ask a question by our superiors or maybe our editors, and the interviewee doesn't want to answer it? So how are we going to ask him the question?
Then you have to keep quiet. Then you have to go for the next question. The interview doesn't want to answer to a question. Maybe, I'm sorry, I don't want to answer. This is personal. For example, ఇప్పుడు ఆమె చూన్నారు మా ఉపాసన కొనిడాల 10 years తర్వాత బాబు పుట్టింది ఆమెకి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐమ్ టెల్లింగ్, ఐ థింక్ have you watched her interviews? No idea, I don't know. Okay, now what she told, why you put such questions to me? Yes, I'm not a mother. One day I'll become mother. And kuda she put a question to the interviewer. So they can stop it. They can stop it. They can definitely they can stop them. You
Okay.
can.
So we send the questionnaire to the interviewee, and they want to remove a couple of questions, but
बिल्कुल ये भी होता है especially in the VIPs and the ministers and union ministers and all. They definitely they delete.
Yes.
They ask you to delete the questions. It may damage their personality, their reputation, and damage their ministry or the administration or the government also. That's the reason.
But our management will definitely wants to have
has to listen to the minister, has to listen to the VIPs. That to follow, because even the channel or the new media house, they cannot take their own decision. No, this is not any yellow journalism. This is not any investigative journalism.
Okay.
It's a creative. We had to be very upright in your in the approach, and upright in your information gathering also, dear children. That's the reason. The journalists will not grow faster in the pace of life. It takes years to grow, years to get the name, fame, and naam. Okay? So he grows step by step.
Truth is not accepted by the people. Truth is not accepted. That is the reason why journalists will not grow.
No. Truth is not accepted. No. What I'm telling you, the truthful journalist will give the truthfulness only. That he give the correct thing. Okay. And
truth is not accepted by the, politics.
Yeah. Not for you all. The people come to know kada. Suppose I did a story, especially Hindu anukundama, and they did some investigative journalism. The Hindu is a believable newspaper kada. They follow it because 100% it recheck chestundadi. They always do the rechecking of each and every story submitted by the reporter. Okay, na? And whatever been submitted to the reporter will go to the sub-editor. Sub-editor do the editing and all. It goes to the news editor. News editor again check it again. Okay, na? Something he found some foul or something, he'll go back to the story and he'll ask the chief bureau. The bureau will ask the reporter where you got the story. On the point. So this all happen. It's not a joke on matter. Adamostunda. Yedi kuda andike kada. That's the reason that people, the media house will survive for many years, for decades, for centuries. Because they believe, they trust it, they follow it. Blindly they won't believe The people won't believe. People are very smart now. Ante kada. Because when honesty should be there in your content. Adamostunda. Yeah, the same way. Accuracy undala, adaptability unda, ivanni untayi ippudu. Ikkada interview annam ikkada selection training of interviewers anukondi, honesty undala. Ante kada, when you're honesty, warmthness undala, honesty undala, and your tongue should be speak properly. You cannot twist and turn cheyakudadu kada. You cannot twist and turn your tongue. No, you never grow. You never, nobody believe you. Is it clear? So andike indaka cheppinattu devil's court current topper anna adi he want to squeeze out some information from the advocate, but advocate just left the live telecast and all. So it's not necessary that you should stay and answer to all the question what have been volley question put by the other journalist or to him. No, politely you can say, I'm sorry, I don't want to answer to the question. Then the interviewer will go for the next question. Ala anamata. Andike kada, sometimes he may lack of questions appudu undipotundi. Ippudu anni cut chesi delete chesukunda pota unte what happens, even here and here the production, the time duration undi kada, you cannot reduce it. So here what have been allotted time, that's the reason he had to keep some extra questions. Okay, maybe his reading habit so, maybe his hobby so, maybe his award show. He can talk on, work on, put questions on him. Okay, what the relation between you and so, right? What are the awards you won? What the agreements been undertaken between the different countries and all? Okay, what disagreement was there and all? What was attack on parliament and all? What was happening in Pakistan and all? What was happening in Indo-America relations and all? So there's many questions have been had to keep such extra questions in hand where you can fill up that fill a type anamata. Right. interest and temperament, adaptability should be adopted by the interviewer and all. He should adapt himself and all. Though respondent may not answer to him, or maybe he may disagree with the interviewer, but still he should adapt himself and go to the next question. And please try to understand, generate interest in the interviewing methodology and generate interest in the question, follow questions and all, right? The subject manchi undala. And when you have the subject being chosen by you, okay, ma'am, and relate to the questions and relate to between the interviewer and the interviewee. Tappudu chaala interesting ga untundi, bauntundi annamata. Ante when you find that even audience will like such a interview methodology, dear children, they glue to the television, they go into the content very, very closely, in-depthly, deeper and deeper annamata. Evaru read it out in the print area, right? Yeah. You got in temperament kuda very, very careful, amma. Yeah, we cannot be short-tempered and we cannot lose a temper at all. Okay, now very quiet, warm, quiet, decent. But to be that way to carry the qualities. Who? The interviewer, right? So because you are invited, you have invited the personality. To take care about him. You cannot be over-aggressive. You cannot be unsocial and all. You cannot be, intimate and all. You cannot put a question to him and all. Or to keep questioning him, definitely he'll be irritate him. So that way, that even all this temperament have to overshown. You have to overgo this. Otherwise, that become a great remark for you as a quality in interviewing methodology in related to the interview. Okay, right. Then see you then next week. Thank you so much. We'll end the interview. Now, next question, next answer, that class will be experimental longitudinal research with the page number 42. We'll have to continue faster. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, dear.